Hey guys, Clay Johnson here from Coley Sales, and today I wanted to talk to you about dry suits. It's getting cold out, and it's time to wear something that's going to keep you dry and warm. The dry suit by nature is a suit that covers your entire body except for your hands and from your neck up and is totally dry. You could run down the street, jump in the water, swim around, get out, unzip yourself, and be dry and warm underneath. So let's first talk about the suit itself. First of all, the suit looks massive. When you take it out of the bag, this looks like it's for a giant. This would actually fit me pretty well and be fine. The suit, as I said, is totally going to cover your body. So down at the bottom, there are built-in booties that you would put your feet in to keep your feet dry. And up here, it has tight wrist seals and a tight neck seal to be skin tight so that water does not get into your layers. Many dry suits have industrial zippers. This dry suit, for example, actually has two zippers. An industrial, bigger, heavy-duty zipper underneath, and then a thin zipper that zips up and encompasses everything so it's a little more comfortable while wearing it. A nice feature about this dry suit that I really like is the fact that it has shoulder straps on the inside. This is nice for two reasons. One, when you're wearing it, the whole dry suit stays hiked up and doesn't fall down when you're sailing. The second is if there's ever a break in the action, if you're in high school sailing and you're off for a set, you can take the top half of your dry suit off, let your neck and your wrist breathe a little bit, and the suspenders hold the dry suit up so you're not walking around carrying it up like this. The seals at the neck and at the wrists are supposed to be really tight so that water doesn't go in. I would say that most people actually don't have to adjust the seals at all. They're good, they fit really well, they stretch, but every now and then you get somebody that needs to adjust it. The Gill dry suit has these thin rings that go around the seal. These are meant as guidelines for how to trim your dry suit. So if you put the dry suit on, wear it a few times. If you come in and you say, man, it's just really tight on my neck or on my wrists, you can take scissors and evenly trim around the ring to loosen it up. Then I would recommend sailing with it a few more times before you trim any more off, because once you take the layers off, you can't put them back on. Now I'm going to show you how to put on the dry suit. The first question we always get asked is, what do you wear underneath the dry suit? I'm a huge fan of base layers, and I think wearing the appropriate base layer underneath is just as important as the dry suit on top. Gill, Zyke, and other brands make really good thin layers. I would recommend just one thin layer or maybe a second layer on top if it's really cold. One thing I recommend is don't wear big hooded sweatshirts or cottony shirts that are just going to absorb sweat and cool you off. I also recommend only one pair of socks. That's really important. A lot of people say, it's very cold out, I'm going to wear 2 pairs of socks today. But by the time you have 2 pairs of socks, then the dry suit bootie, and then your sailboat boot, it's so much on your foot that it can actually restrict blood flow and make your foot feel cold and numb. So one pair of socks is all that I recommend. To get into your dry suit, it's important to sit down and be in a controlled environment. As soon as you put the dry suit on, you're going to want to put your sailing boots on. A common mistake people make is they put their dry suit on, they say, oh no, I forgot my sail boots in the car or in my boat, and then they walk across the concrete to go get them, and they can puncture or rip their dry suit on the pavement. Dry suit booties are really fragile, and it's not a repair you want to have to make if you don't have to. So as soon as you put the dry suit on, put your boots on. I'm going to step into this dry suit. I'm going to pull it all the way up. I'm going to stretch out the bootie so that it goes into my sailing boot and is nice and smooth and doesn't bunch up. This is a cuff that'll go down over the top of your sailing boot, and it'll look good. As I step in, I'm being very careful to step through the shoulder straps so that they line up well. Then I'm going to pull up the dry suit and put the shoulder straps on. This is going to hold the dry suit in place in case the top half is ever off, either while I'm on shore or between races. Putting the arms and the neck in is a tricky process. There's no easy way to recommend putting in the arms and the head. You just kind of have to do it and do what's best for you. I usually start with my arm. I pull it in here, finish with my second arm, and then I'm going to put the neck on. Sometimes you have to crouch down a little bit as you do it. It looks like that. Dry suit's on. It's important to zip it up. So there's a nice T handle at the top of the industrial zipper that I'm going to pull all the way down to the bottom. This is really important to get all the way to the bottom so that it's sealed. If you get it that far, that is not sealed. You need to get it all the way 100% sealed because water will find its way in anywhere. After I'm done with that, I'll take the smaller zipper and zipper up over top to keep it all intact. Looks like this. As you put the dry suit on and as you zip it, you actually trap air inside the dry suit. So there's air in here. I want to do what's called burping the dry suit. I'm going to grab the neck like this, and I'm going to crouch down and feel the air rush out of the neck. Then I'll let go of the neck and stand up, and the whole dry suit will actually vacuum up against me and be a slimmer, easier fit. Once my dry suit's on, I'm going to put my boots on. Now, the boots can be a little bit tricky because one, there are a lot of layers on your foot, and two, the material can be a little sticky going in. I'm going to try and hold this material all up tight so it doesn't get very bunchy, and then slide it right in. And then I'm going to pull it up actually too. I'll zip this up and then Velcro over top. And then you can pull the cuff down so it looks nice. Lastly, you can take your life jacket and put it over top of your outermost layer here. And as you can see, when the boots are on and the life jacket's on, everything's kind of held in place and you look good and ready to go sailing. Other maintenance tricks for your dry suit: if you get it dirty, you shouldn't put it in the washing machine. You should just spot clean it. I like to rinse it every day with fresh water, and it's great. You're dry, so you can have your friend or somebody just spray you with clean, fresh water and let it air dry. When you're not using it, store it in a cool, dark place so that the sun doesn't eat away at the material. Lastly, don't pee in your dry suit. That's gross.